Fam, what's up? How's everybody doing? I appreciate you guys being here. I'm in Atlanta, and I hope you guys are off to an amazing Friday. Today, I want to take your call, and I want to get your score prediction, but give me a roll tide inside the comment box. And if you're a Georgia Bulldog fan, we appreciate you guys. You guys will call in, too. We want to hear both sides of the table as we gear up for the SEC title game. Made my way to Atlanta yesterday. It's a little bit rainy today, so here's the schedule, and I know I am coming to you a little bit before schedule. Usually I come on 9 a.m. Central Time, but I am doing 9 a.m. Eastern Time because I do have a media opportunity. I'm going to hear from Tim Tebow, Roman Harper, Reese Davis, so we'll have those interviews with great audio, great video uploaded to the YouTube channel. But I appreciate you guys being in here. In today's topic, simply the head-to-head matchup of the SEC title. I appreciate you guys being here. And, of course, we got some SEC fans all over the country, but we also have some conference championships taking place tonight. As Eric said, who do you have, Kyle, inside the comment box between Oregon and Washington? That game is taking place tonight. I think, honestly, look, in that particular game, I think the fact that Oregon has so much momentum, I think that Oregon's able to beat Washington. And I think that I've said this all week that the Pac-12 seems to already have a seat at the playoff table, in my opinion. Even the Big Ten, honestly, I don't think necessarily that Michigan is, and I know they're a 23.5-point favorite over Iowa, but who knows? The one thing that we do know right now is I think that the Pac-12 has a team in. That's the only real conference that has a team inside the playoffs. So I want to take your calls, and we have one call right now, but when you guys do call in tonight, or this morning, I should say, the call-in line number is 205-850-1994. Let's get your score prediction, and then also let's, kind of get your take on the game and keep it moving so we can get multiple calls, and we'll let the call-in line heat up for a little bit. Sean, what's up? We appreciate you watching from Scotland. Man, that's amazing. Don't tell us what happens in the next couple hours. I know you're ahead of us a little bit. Nathan has Oregon beating Washington. Timmy has Oregon beating Washington. So I think the consensus is that Oregon, the Ducks, are able to win the Pac-12 title game. So, and that's what I'm saying. When you look to the Pac-12 title game, what are you going to do? Leave out an Oregon team that has been playing hot and wins the Pac-12? We already know the committee loves the Pac-12. And on the other side of the coin, if Washington is able to finish out undefeated, they're going to have a seat at the playoff table as well. The team that I am curious about is Florida State. So you have Florida State taking on Louisville. I think a lot of people feel that Louisville is able to win that game. How about you inside the comments right now? I'm asking you guys, who wins between Florida State and Louisville? I want to hear from you inside the comment box. All right, so I need you to do me a favor. If you think that Alabama is going to beat Georgia, then hit the thumbs up button on this video. So that's if Alabama is going to beat Georgia. I want to see that thumbs up go way up inside the comment box. I appreciate you guys being here. Hit the thumbs up under the video. If you guys want to be a fan funder, then you can go to the top of this video and hit the join button. I appreciate all the support. You have your full-time job. This is my full-time job. And I'm in Atlanta. Last week I didn't get media credentials for the Alabama-Auburn game. I was denied by Auburn, and I don't know if it had to do with the fact that I'm from I went to school at New Mexico State, but I hate to not see a game like that, and you're like, okay, you can cover everything from afar. Not necessarily true, because you miss out on the player interview. So I wasn't able to interview Jalen Milroe. I wasn't able to interview Isaiah Bond. Now, of course, they do have Zoom opportunities for the coaches, but still, I think it's kind of bush league, honestly, by Auburn's administration. I'm calling you out. I think it was unfair. I don't think that you guys handled that correctly, and it's really upsetting that you would deny me media credentials. I'm calling you out. I don't think it was the right thing to do, and honestly, probably karma. You guys lost to New Mexico State, and you guys lost to Alabama, so karma comes back in a bunch of different ways, and I don't think it was fair that you guys did me like that. But with that said, I did get approved to come out and cover the SEC title game between Georgia and Alabama, and when you look at the tape between Alabama and Georgia, I love the storyline. You have the Georgia Bulldogs who are riding a 29-game winning streak, and all the great things that the Georgia Bulldogs have been able to do not only this season, but the past 2 seasons. And it all stems from Kirby Smart, a disciple of Nick Saban, and starting to really set himself apart from that. And, it's time. I mean, I think Kirby Smart is a great football coach, built on that defensive component that Alabama fans grew to love, because Alabama organization built on defense with Nick Saban being a defensive coach. But how he's been able to transform his program from the offensive side has really been commendable. And Carson Beck is playing out of his mind, 3,500 yards on the season. And look, I want to get your take on this inside the comment box. So yesterday, Kirby Smart said, look, the guys, Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, I didn't sit those guys because I was saving them for Alabama. Like, honestly, he's like, I don't know if those guys can go this weekend. And I was talking, I got up this morning, I worked out in beautiful Atlanta, went for a 3-mile run with my group, my F3 group. They're out here in Atlanta as well. And a couple guys are from Atlanta, and they're Georgia fans, and they were talking about the fact that they honestly believe Kirby. They're like, we don't know. I don't think it's smoke. Like, he's telling you as it is. So do you think that Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey will play this Saturday? I think they 100% will play, but what will their percentage of health be, right? I guess that's kind of something that we're going to be looking forward to in the pregame. And I think, honestly, when you look to Alabama, this has been a team that has been relatively healthy all season long. I think to the years past, when even Alabama has been rolling through teams, they've had injuries and they've been injury plagued. Not necessarily this year. They've had some guys who have been banged up or missed a couple games, some ankle sort of stuff. But overall, this team is really healthy. We're watching for Jace McClellan. Jace has some sort of a foot injury or something like that. That doesn't seem to be too big of an issue, and I think we're going to see, if he can go pregame. And Coach Saban said he's questionable for this coming week. So you look to the Alabama running backs behind him. You have Roydell Williams, who's done a fantastic job. You also have Jam Miller, that I think a lot of people forget about. And then you also have Justice Haynes and Richard Young. Those are the running backs. With that said, I want to take your guys' calls. So 205-850-1994. I have 5 call-in lines open. How to work. I'll take your call, ask you where you're from, welcome you to the show, give me your score prediction. I want to talk to you about this game. And then I also want to get, through the caller. So let's keep the show going. I appreciate you guys. And we start right now with a 256. Hey, good morning. Thank you very much for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Timmy from Springfield, Missouri.
Hey, what's up, Timmy? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show from Missouri. Atlanta's a little bit rainy today. I'm sure Missouri, the cold has kind of already started to set in the Midwest, man. But I appreciate you calling in. Welcome to the show, man. Take it away.
Yeah, everybody's been talking about the SEC championship game in Oregon and Washington, and I know this is a very different game, but, I want, chaos to fully take place. I want Iowa to beat Michigan.
Yeah.
I want FSU to lose. I want freaking Georgia to lose. I want the top 4 to just get manhandled. I want complete chaos.
And it very well could happen. I mean, this is the time of year where who knows what's going to happen. I think when you look to the odds, there's some favorites out there. But can you imagine if Iowa is to beat Michigan? I don't think there's more Iowa fans than there's ever been across the country. Just considering what's happened at Michigan, even you in Missouri, you probably want to see the Iowa Hawkeyes defeat Michigan, right? And I think it's so funny that, all the stuff that has happened with Jim Harbaugh, and he's like, this is America's team. They love the underdog. It's like, no, man, the allegations, what happened to him? People don't forget. People keep receipts on that. So they want to see Michigan lose, and Michigan has been playing that villain card, which they have, and they're undefeated, a team built on defense. You also have the Pac-12, and who is the country rooting for in that game? I think they probably Oregon, I guess. Washington has escaped their last 2 games, so Oregon beating Washington is most likely. What do you think about that Pac-12 game, Timmy?
Yeah, I think Washington, their last 8 games, they've barely been able to escape with under single digits. So it's going to come back and bite them in the butt anyway. Their defense is horrible. I mean, Washington State was pretty good in the season, but they fell out of the rankings, and then, they almost beat Washington, and Oregon State had a chance but couldn't capitalize from it. But Washington, they're going to get manhandled Oregon they have a legitimate Heisman Trophy contender,
Yeah.
and Bo Nix. I believe that he's going to throw for over 400 yards, and he's going to take the Heisman Trophy home. There's no doubt about it. But I really believe Washington is going to get manhandled against Oregon because Oregon is going to prove that they're a top 4 team
Yeah, I
tonight.
mean, in the way that Bo Nix has been playing, he's been playing out of his mind. I mean, you have two talented quarterbacks taking, going head to head this weekend between, Penix and Nix, and the way that those guys have played. This will be a rematch of a game that took place in Washington. Washington winning that game also by a field goal. All right, Timmy, let's go to the ACC. You got Louisville, you got Florida State. Who you got in that matchup? You think that Louisville is able to beat a Rodemaker-led Florida State team this weekend?
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
I think they're going to be riding that injury. They're going to play conservative because they don't want to go aggressive with a third string or second string quarterback that they don't really trust right now. I really believe with Jake Plummer and that running game and that run defense, to be precise, I really believe Louisville is going to pull out in a close one. I think it's going to be a 27-21 win, and that all that does is help Alabama's chances of getting in. So I highly believe that Louisville will escape that game with a W.
And I think when you look to Florida State, we've talked about Florida State and all the playoff rankings throughout, the last week, probably last 2 weeks or whatever it's been. I didn't feel that Florida State was a playoff team with Jordan Travis. I think they're a good football team, and the story about Florida State is really interesting, how they've been able to get back to relevancy. But in terms of a top, 4 team, I just don't think they were one. Even with Jordan Travis, they have some tremendous wide receivers. I just think that their resume isn't as strong as some of the other teams up at the top, and especially with Jordan Travis out. I just don't think that they are one of the best 4 teams. And at the end of the day, you have to get the 4 best teams inside the playoffs. Okay, let's go now to the SEC as you have Alabama taking on Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs, I think a 6.5-point favorite, almost a touchdown now by Vegas. But we all know that the SEC championship game is paired up with the 2 best teams this year, probably in college football. You have one at number 1, one at number 8. This Alabama team has won 10 in a row. Red hot under the play of Jalen Milroe, who has a chip on their shoulder. On the flip side, you have Kirby Smart, who has the Bulldogs, who have won 2 in a row, 29-game winning streak. It's been really amazing to watch Georgia. Give me your score prediction and some thoughts on Alabama versus Georgia.
Yeah, I have Alabama winning. This is going to sound crazy, but I got Alabama running away with it. Not by much, but I feel like they're going to win by at least 10 or more. Yeah, their offense is pretty good, but I just saw last night what you were talking about, Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, Ra Thomas, and somebody else.
Yep.
They probably won't play, but I don't know. Like, if they don't have Brock Bowers or Ladd McConkey, that's going to make them one-dimensional because Brock Bowers is mainly their entire offense. So
Yep.
if he doesn't play, Alabama at least will win by 10 or more points. But if he does play, I'd say Alabama wins by 6 or 7. I have Alabama winning 37-27.
37-27.
It all
Okay.
comes. Yeah,
Go ahead. Finish your thought
it all
out to
comes
me.
down to defense.
Yep.
Oh yeah. It just all comes down to third down conversions for Alabama. Like, they gotta get off the field, force Carson back into making mistakes, pressure him because they've only allowed 10 sacks. This Georgia offense has. So Georgia's offense is really good. Their offensive line is probably top 10 in the country. I really want to see Carson Beck get sacked a few times, some make a few mistakes, and especially that secondary, see how good they can react to those wide receivers going deep and in the slot and stuff like that. So I'm pretty curious to see what's going to take place tomorrow.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Timmy. Thank you very much for the call from Missouri. Take it easy. Enjoy tonight's conference championships, and, of course, Saturday. And then Sunday, you got playoffs, man. So hope you have a big, nice TV and you can enjoy this, man. And please call again. I'm going to have call-in shows periodically. And, of course, I'm live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. So anytime you want to call in, Timmy, hit me up, man.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, thank you. You too, man. All right, that was Timmy. We got a 912, a 201, and a 479 coming up on Bama football on YouTube. Yo, so today I am in the ATL. I'm on an hour earlier because I do have some media availabilities today. I'm talking to Roman Harper, Tim Tebow, Reese Davis. I think they even have Stanford Steve, who's going to be out there at 11 a.m. Central Eastern time. So I got to go from here to there, take care of those interviews, and then I will upload those right here to the YouTube channel, Bama Football on YouTube. It's been crazy to watch the transfer portal, right? The transfer portal, there's all these quarterbacks, and now they're like getting $2 million, or that's what the Nebraska coach said. I thought that was an interesting soundbite that, a good quarterback in the portal costs between $1.5 and $2 million. So you look at KJ Jefferson, who said he might enter. There's people that said he did enter, and then he might enter, and then he said, I haven't made up my mind. And then Arkansas hired Bobby Petrino. Literally, the news does not stop. And then you have Will Rogers from Mississippi State, and I wonder, if he changes his mind because you have Levy taking over. Who knows how that's going to all play out? You have DJ from Oregon State who entered the portal. Man, how many years do some of these quarterbacks have? It's amazing because they were able to have kind of that COVID year. So, it's been fun to track the transfer portal, and it's only the first. The portal, what is it, open like the 4th? It's going to be crazy. All right, so we go back to the phone lines with the 912. Let's start it right now. Hey, I appreciate you being patient. Welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson, who I'm on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hi, Kyle. This is Jonathan. I'm calling from Georgia.
Hey, what's up, Jonathan? I appreciate you. There's kind of like a little bit of wind. I don't know if you're outside, by these beautiful pines, but okay. Yeah, it looks like we're in a good spot now. All right, Jonathan, welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you calling in from Georgia. Take it away.
Hey, roll tide, roll, man.
Yeah.
It's nice hearing you. I've followed your show for a long, long time. I'm just calling to talk about the game and the college playoff prediction. It's been really crazy. We're stuck at number 8. And the way I look at this game right here when it comes to Georgia is that us winning by 3 is not going to cut it. Us winning by 7, it's not going to cut it. I mean, it would cut it if we had the 12-team playoff, but we got to win by 17 plus. We got to go out there, take care of business, and embarrass Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Okay? Leave absolutely no doubt. If not, then we need help around college football. I mean, I love this team. I called the game last week.
Yeah.
That connection between Jalen Milroe and Isaiah Bond.
Yeah.
I don't care what we've done this year. We need to break out. If we got to throw it deep 50 times this game to embarrass Georgia, let's do it. I mean, I think we got to ask ourselves this. Winning by 3 is not going to get us in the playoffs. If we win by 17 and leave no doubt, either we're not getting in the playoffs, we're getting in the playoffs, one or two. If Georgia gets in the playoffs and wins 3 straight, we're going to hear it for years and years and years. Personally, I love this team, everything Nick Saban has done, but this game right here is like a defining moment.
Yeah, I think that when you look to the final score outcome, that's a good question. Is that final score going to dictate the overall fate of Alabama or even Georgia? Probably not so much Georgia, because if they're able to beat Alabama, then they're looking at the number 1 seed 100%. Right, they're automatically in. But I think if let's just look at it from Alabama beating Georgia, right? I mean, I don't necessarily. There's so much that could happen this weekend, but there's so much riding on this particular game, right? And for Alabama's sake. And I think that people look to this last win against Auburn and they're like, does Alabama still have it? That's a rivalry game. This is a rivalry game as well. And the reason that I don't think that necessarily Alabama if Alabama was to win by 17, my goodness. If they win by 21, my goodness. They're 100% in. But I think if Alabama just beats Georgia, regardless of the score, they are in the playoffs. And I think Georgia might be in the playoffs too. And here's why. Because Georgia's overall playoff resume is really impressive. impressive this year. They're just, they have the SEC wins. They're 3-0 against top 25. Their offense and their defense is top 10. What they've been able to do besides like the beginning part of the season, because if you look to the beginning part of the season, they really didn't play anybody. They were supposed to play Oklahoma this year as Alabama played Texas, and then something fell through because that has to do with their future schedule with Oklahoma coming to the SEC. But overall, this team, is clearly the number one. There's no question about who the number one is in college football right now, and that's Georgia. So I think if Alabama is able to beat Georgia in the state of Georgia, 45 minutes out of Athens, I think it's going to send shockwaves throughout college football, and I think that Alabama doesn't necessarily have to win by 7. I think it would certainly help if they won by 10, but you just have to be able to beat Georgia. And this is the other thing, Jonathan, is I think that they have to just play consistent football during this game, right? I don't think the committee wants to see any sort of up and downs with this team, because that inconsistency has been one thing that people have been harping on. So go out there, play a complete game, avoid the penalties, avoid the special teams mistakes, and if you're able to beat Georgia, then I think you have a great shot to get in the playoffs. Now, I've been asking this question, and this is the most scary question that I have for everybody that follows Alabama football. If Alabama beats Georgia, right, and that happens, then could the committee still take the Georgia Bulldogs like they did with TCU? I don't think that necessarily will happen, but, those are some scenarios that you throw out. And the one team that we really haven't even talked about today is the Big 12 title game between Texas and Oklahoma State. A lot of people have kind of the pulse on that. Jonathan, let's switch gears real quick, man. What are your thoughts on some of these other conference title games? Let me ask you about the Pac-12 title game. Who are you taking between Oregon and Washington?
I want Oregon to destroy Washington. That's what I want. Bo Nix and company, they got to go out and take care of business. Destroy Washington. I don't understand why Washington has been ranked as high as they are when the last few games they've barely been able to win.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there've been some quality games in there, but they're struggling right now. Michael Penix Jr. might be a first-round pick, but overall, that offense is just struggling. Iowa, Michigan. Iowa has probably one of the best defenses in the nation. But I think it's very possible that maybe what might be the biggest help for Alabama is if Iowa blacks out Michigan, which I think everybody can agree that's possible. The style of offense Iowa plays and everything. Look, they're that offense, they're only looking for 20 points, but a blackout game, that helps us a lot. Louisville, FSU. No Jordan Travis. Louisville should be able to take care of business.
Sure.
And that would help us a lot, considering how Kentucky trashed Louisville.
Yep. Okay, I have one more for you, Jonathan. Before you go to me, let me go to you with one more. Okay, this is my super sleeper question for everybody inside the comment box. Okay, you listen, please. Okay. Okay, so you guys know that I graduated from New Mexico State, and they're having a nice little season, the best season that they've ever had. They've won 10 games, 10-3, led by Jerry Kill. They are playing Liberty. We haven't talked about, that conference championship that is taking place tonight in the Conference USA. Jonathan, are my New Mexico State Aggies going to be able to beat Liberty, who is a 14-point favorite over my beloved Aggies?
Well, it's a former Hugh Freeze team. And last time I checked, New Mexico State's head coach has had Hugh Freeze's number for a while, so it should be no different. Even if Hugh Freeze is not there, the same personnel he recruited is there.
Love it.
So I think New Mexico State takes care of business.
All right, love it. All right, so what you got for me? Go ahead, Jonathan.
So this has nothing to do with the college football playoff. I just got to throw this out here.
Okay.
Do you think there's a chance Ja'Cory Brooks enters the transfer portal?
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a lot of guys from Alabama that could enter the transfer portal. I think that when you start to look to the transfer portal and you start to look to roster management and organizational management, I think that there's some of the guys on the transfer portal, whether you want to admit it or not, and I'm not saying this about Ja'Cory Brooks specifically because I think that he's dealt with some injuries or whatever whatever it's been. But I think he's got bypassed by some of these players that have, started to rise up and play like juniors. The Kendrick Law, the Isaiah Bond, the Kobe Prentice, the Emmanuel Henderson, guys like that. When you look to Alabama's wide receivers, and the fact that Jermaine Burton, if he really wanted to, he could come back for another season, which is scary. You also have Malik Benson coming back. So I think when you look to the transfer portal, and this doesn't only for the wide receivers, sometimes what Alabama does is, you almost get processed by the portal, and you get passed up, and now the players have an option to go somewhere else that is better suited for them. We've seen that Trayshawn Holden was able to leave. You've seen that other wide receivers have found landing spots. JoJo Earl, a running back by the name of Trey Sanders. Those guys were able to get playing time at different programs across the country. I think absolutely there's going to be guys that enter the transfer portal from Alabama. There's probably going to be several. Last year, what was there, like 16 or something like that? That's just part of the fabric. That's just part of the fabric of college football. And Coach Saban, he even said there was only one guy from that transfer portal where he was kind of like, "Why did you leave?" I honestly think 1 million%.
We know who that guy was now.
I think he was saying Aaron Anderson. Honestly,
he talked about it during the LSU game. Aaron Anderson had a conversation.
It was kind of weird. Had that kind of like that, because he was asked about that, and then they came back and had that little conversation. Whatever the case is, absolutely, guys are going to enter the transfer portal. It's part of it. We're going to cover it, and just because a guy enters the transfer portal doesn't mean he's automatically left, but more than likely, those guys are going to leave, and that's why I think like people who cover recruiting and stuff like that, like. Yeah, you got to take care of your recruits and your 5 stars and 4 stars. But in terms of like the coverage of college football, it's all about the transfer portal now, 100%, because you go for their immediate fills. Look how Alabama's went into the transfer portal these last 3-4 years. They've went to guys that are immediate playing time starters outside of the quarterback position last year with Tyler Buckner. But Jonathan, I got to run to my next caller. I appreciate you calling in from the beautiful state of Georgia. Please call again next time, and I really enjoyed talking with you today.
All right, roll tide, roll, man.
All right, roll tide, T, man. All right, Jonathan calling out from Georgia. You know what? Georgia is a really nice state. Georgia's a nice state. I've enjoyed since I've lived in the South, and I got my callers. We got a 201, a 251, and a 613. I'm going to get to you guys next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Now that I've lived in the Southeast, man, it's going to, at the end of this year, it have been 6 complete years that I've lived here. The states that are certainly that stand out to me, Georgia's beautiful. I didn't know that they had some of those mountains up on the northwestern side. They're beautiful, kind of as you work towards the Smoky Mountains in the Appalachians there in Tennessee. And Tennessee is a beautiful state. I love the mountains. And sometimes when I go to not so much Gatlinburg, man, the last couple times, it's like real kitschy and stuff. It's a nice place to visit, but there's been too many people the last time that I was there. Nice people. It's just there's other spots up in the mountains that I like, because when you go to the mountains, you kind of want to go to a place, in my opinion, that you can kind of pull away from a little bit, right? You don't want to be kind of in the city. But anyways, I think that, Tennessee and Georgia are just beautiful places. And I've always been treated so well in the city of Atlanta. Atlanta has been so friendly to me. I like coming down here, so I'm really blessed to be here for a couple days. All right, with that said, we go back to the phone lines, and we got a 201 to start right now. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Adam calling from Georgia. How are you?
What's up, Adam? I appreciate you joining me, man. First of all, thank you very much for all the support this year. I know you've been one of our stronger supporters, whether it's Super Chat or just calling in or inside the comment box. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you. I hope you're off to a fantastic Friday. And as we start December, man, what's on your mind, man? Take it away.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and same to you. There's been a lot of discussion this week about college football playoff rankings, but I feel like there's not been as much discussion about this game. I mean, one of the things on my mind is what lessons did we learn from the Auburn game? I mean, we got gashed for 244 yards, and I'm very worried about this game because I don't know how we're going to defend against Georgia and all their weapons, and I don't know if Milroe's going to be consistent. And, I live in Milledgeville, Georgia, and I have to deal with these Georgia fans all the time, but I just, and no death threats, please, but I just could see Georgia winning this like 31-20 or 35-24, and I hate to say that, but I was concerned after the game last week, and then when I look at their weapons, their wideouts,
their defense and how good they are on the defensive line, I'm extremely worried. So I was hoping that you could make my day better by telling me why I'm wrong.
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, 100%. I mean, this Georgia team is absolutely loaded, from top to bottom. And it's not only a team that's built on defense. I mean, this team has a very dangerous offense. I mean, I didn't even list Lad McConkey here on this graphic, but he's certainly a vertical threat. And then you have Brock Bowers, who I think is probably one of the best college football players, period. This team has been able to, score a lot of points. They've been able to beat a lot of really good teams. They've been a problem for everybody. Carson Beck is a great quarterback, honestly. He's a really great quarterback. He's really underrated. And the stakes are against Alabama. Alabama doesn't have any pressure in this game other than, defeating the number one team in all of college football. And Alabama, the thing I like about it, though, Adam, is the fact that, like, if you want to be the man in anything, you got to beat the man. You got to be able to beat the beast. If you want to be the beast, and Alabama is not the beast. Georgia is. And Georgia has taken away what Alabama has had over the last 5 years. And the king of the mountain right now, the top of the college football pinnacle, is the Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart. So if you want to be able to climb that mountain, you got to go through this Kirby Smart-led team, 100%. And I think it's a great opportunity for Alabama to take that throne back, to sit back on the college football mountain and win against this Georgia team. And as you can see, all these numbers in Alabama on the left, Georgia 1,000,000% is the favorite in this game. They should win this game. With that said, it's not settled out on statistics. It's settled out on the field. And Alabama has a pretty good coach by the name of Nick Saban, who's been able to continue to keep this program on the right track despite what happened in the beginning of the season. And I think the thing about Coach Saban that he's had more than anything this year, and I think the reason why they win on Saturday is because they've had a chip on their shoulder. They've had that you're not going to win. You are not going to beat this team. And he hasn't had that since I've been here. I've been covering the team night and day since 2016. And for the most part, it's been easy to cover this team because you know what's going to happen every single outcome, right? It's like trying to figure out the storyline when Alabama, slid through these teams, but not this year. This year, this team, has been beatable. It comes down to, like Ricky is saying inside the comment box, 60 minutes of football. Alabama also has Jalen Milroe, and the way that Jalen Milroe is playing right now at the back end of the season, I think Brock Bowers is one of the best players in college football, period, the best tight end. But the overall most dangerous player in college football that we haven't even seen go full throttle is Jalen Milroe. So, it's going to be a highly contested game. This is, in my opinion, this is the national championship, 100%. It's taking place on Saturday, so if you have an opportunity to watch this game in person, you're getting a taste, maybe an early taste of a repeat of the national title game that's taking place in the ACL. What else you got, Adam?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, last thing quickly. I think if I was game planning, I would try to run on Georgia with Jam Miller and Roy Dell because they gave up 200 yards to Auburn. And everyone's talking about Milroe, but I think we can run on Georgia. What do you think?
I think you can. I think that Georgia can probably run on Alabama too, like you said in your opening call, which is concerning, being that Auburn almost gashed them for 250 yards, but. Look, Jam Miller, man, that is a really good running back. So if Jace isn't 100, if he's not 100%, then you sit him because you have three other running backs, and that's no disrespect to Richard Young. He's going to get his in time, but Roy Dell's ready. Jam is ready, and so is Justice Haynes, 100%. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if you have a freshman by the name of Justice Haynes, who, by the way, is from the state of Georgia, rise up in a game like this? Big-time players rise up in big-time games. Kirby Smart was very complimentary of Caleb Downs, and how could you not be? I mean, Caleb Downs, 95 tackles as a true freshman. So, look, Alabama's got a really stacked running back room, and I think they can run on Georgia outside of Jalen Milroe. The offensive line has been doing a really good job, but look, this Georgia team is built not only to beat Alabama, but built to win another national championship. The winner of this game is going to win the national championship game. And I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to hear this, but I honestly feel that two teams from the SEC get into the playoffs. I don't know how. I don't know, how you can spin it, but I kind of feel that way. I know there's a huge logjam and a bunch of stuff have to happen, but if you're going off the top four best teams, you got to take Georgia, Bama. Anything else, Adam, that we got?
No, I completely agree with you. Thanks for taking my call. Always a great show, and roll tide.
All right, we'll talk to you, man. I appreciate you. All right, we got let's see, we got a 251, a 631, a 256, and a 256. Dr. Gonzo, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box, man. Thank you for joining us from the Georgia fans. Flyboy Rich, what's up? I see you. Ricky Smith, Beanie. I appreciate you guys, man. What a beautiful day it is here on this December 1st from the ATL. I love Atlanta, honestly. And the thing about Atlanta that I also like, too, is I mean, some of the biggest names in hip hop came out of here, right? So I grew up listening to Outkast, Ludacris. I mean, you can go on and on about all the names that are from here. But man, who didn't, listen to Outkast growing up? My goodness. I mean, it's just, I love the vibe out here, and the people have always treated me so well. So looking forward to going down to the Mercedes Stadium tomorrow, and then I have some media stuff coming up today. But you can follow me on my Instagram, Mr. Kyle Henderson. I post a bunch of workout stuff, and then on Twitter it's Bama Football, straight up on YouTube, and most of all the content though comes right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Dr. Gonzo say roll turd. Bino, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. All right, Adam, man, thank you so much for the super chat, the 20 spot, man. You have been a great supporter, and I really appreciate your contribution this morning, man. All right, we go back to the phone line, 251. Let's start it. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, man, it's Robert from Mobile.
Yes. Robert, man. Talk some sense into me about this weekend's game between Alabama and Georgia.
To your last caller, to help him ease his, leave his worries,
Okay.
You can best believe Kirby Smart knows he's going to play Saturday, the only team in college football that can beat him. He knows that.
Yep.
And if he's worried about Alabama, we should have confidence that we're going to win this game. They're not. It comes down to the offensive line and the defensive line, of course, and Jalen Milroe. If Jalen Milroe decides he's going to play with reckless abandon as far as his running ability goes, then we see the performance that Deshaun Watson did to Alabama when they won.
Yep.
Same situation.
Yep.
Alabama was every favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson was not. Clemson lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have lost. And it's the exact same situation. And Deshaun Watson just took it over.
Nope.
Alabama was the unbeatable juggernaut, and Clemson found a way to win because they were more determined, particularly Deshaun Watson was more determined.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Milroe has the ability to do. He makes that decision, which I think he will. It will no longer be a putting this team into 4th and 31 when you don't have to situation. I think he's not going to see green grass on Saturday and refuse to take it. And when he does that, plants his foot down and takes off running, forget your spy. In that Auburn game against Auburn, when he allowed the spy to hold him back because they had a spy.
Yeah.
And not, hey, okay, I don't care if you got a spy. I'm going to get around you anyway. Once he decided he's going to get around that spy was no match for him.
Yeah.
But that spy proved he can stay with you.
Yep.
And once you establish that he can't do it, it's over. Sky's the limit.
Yep.
And when he did that against Auburn, sky was the limit.
Mm-hmm.
That spy there, no matter if they have a spy, it's like me spying Miro. Okay, I'm the spy. I'm 57 years old. I can't keep up with you. I'm just a useless person on defense. If I got to spy you, because I got no chance of keeping up with you. Georgia spy proved that,
Robert.
And I think he can do that.
Let me ask you about other X factors on Alabama's offense. Yesterday, when I was talking to my boy Ty Hayes, I actually mentioned Caden Proctor being one of the X factors, and kind of the overall play of him in this type of a game, is going to, could make or break this Alabama offensive line. But I want to ask you about the receivers specifically.
Right.
Jermaine Burton, Isaiah Bond, even Kendrick Law, how they've been using him in kind of some wrinkle packages. Maybe Amari Nyblack. I don't know. Like, who do you think in this game? Is it easy to say that Jermaine Burton is kind of the X factor from the wide receiver? Or you like one of these sophomores, Isaiah Bond or Kendrick Law?
I'm hoping Milroe starts to key on these tight ends. Even I forgot the white guy's name, but he's good.
Yeah,
he's making some
CJ Dupree.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, start throwing the ball to them underneath. Fool Georgia with that. They're looking for you to keep throwing the deep hero ball because you do have those studs out there. And no, pick them apart.
Yeah.
Pick them apart underneath with those tight ends. And use our tight end the way they use their tight end.
Yeah.
Do that to them. Like so, you run on them, use your tight ends on them, and then when they get frustrated, then you hit them over the top with the 007
Yep.
and with Ben Burton. Then you hit them over the top with those guys. And I'm hoping that 4th and 31 does the same for 007 that 2nd and 26 did for Devontae Smith. I hope it turns you into that kind of a player down the road. Because you got your signature play there, dude. Now you do what Devontae did with it. You take that to make you one of the best receivers in the history of Alabama football. He's got the skills, and now you got the play. So let's hopefully you take off with that. But what bugs and people, I'm sorry.
Adam is also saying the utilization of Robbie Oots, which is a great addition because the way that I like Robbie Oots is kind of like Kyle Juszczyk for my 49ers, who, by the way, play the Eagles. And what's crazy about that game is the Niners are favorites when the game is in Philly. And after Philly just beat Buffalo, man, Jalen Hurts is an absolute monster in the NFL. It's neither here nor there, but the 49er game is certainly on my mind. But Robbie Oots is a guy who's an H-back / tight end that Alabama's used in a couple different creative ways. Sometimes they put him to the left of Caden Proctor, kind of as an extra blocker. Robert, this Georgia team, while people have said that they are beatable, and I agree, they are beatable, this is a defensive-led team. This team is very, very good. And I think that they've shown that through the last, with 3-4 weeks of play. What are your thoughts on this Kirby Smart-led Georgia team that's trying for their 3rd title in 3 years?
Yeah, and there's that pressure that's going to get to them, too, the way it got to Alabama when they got into a close one down the stretch. And here's the thing, too. Auburn ran on Georgia, and Georgia Tech ran on Georgia.
Yes.
And neither one. And so you throw in our athletic quarterback and with our running back, we can control the ball. Now Georgia's going to try to run on us as well. It's which team stops to run the best is going to have control of this game. Going real back to the committee, unfortunately, I disagree with you on Georgia getting in if they lose. Only, I guess if Florida State loses to Louisville. I guess that opens it up, but it just bugs me like everybody else to the hill. This emphatic love that they're showing to Oregon.
Oh God!
The only team that should be still in control of their own destiny if they win a championship right now is Alabama.
Yeah.
Oregon's resume doesn't come anywhere near Alabama's as far as the teams they've beaten.
Not even close.
Now, if Alabama and Oregon both had the same number of top 25 wins. Okay, yeah, then they can understand you using style points and the way you control the game as the X factor. But we don't. Alabama's played the most top 25 teams of anybody in college football. Anybody. They played 5. Lost 1. Georgia is the only one that played the next most. They played 3. Will be 4 with Alabama. I'm sorry, Alabama played 4. It'll be 5 with Georgia. And Georgia will have played 3 so far, and it'll be 4 with Alabama. Those two teams have played the most of anybody in college football.
I have Oregon's resume pulled up on the screen, a graphic I created. So if there's something else you want to see from Oregon, let me know inside the comment box. I'll add it. But 6-game winning streak, 11-1 on the season, 8-1 in Pac-12. Lost to number 3 Washington, beat number 20 Oregon State. But outside of that, as you mentioned, just 1-1 against top 25 teams this year. They are the number 2 offense in the country, style points. Number 15 overall defense in the country, style points. Number 59 strength of schedule, not that impressive. And they're a 9-point favorite to beat Washington. If Washington is so good, then why are they almost a 10-point underdog against Oregon? That is concerning. And then Bo Nix, again, minus 150 to win the Heisman Trophy. So the point in bringing up Oregon's resume is the fact that when you have Alabama's resume, which I'm about to bring up, or even Georgia's, these are some really hard-hitting resumes. Let's just look at Alabama's for sake of it. So when you look to Alabama's overall resume, 10-game win streak, 8-0 against SEC play, beat number 11 Ole Miss, beat number 13 LSU, beat number 21 Tennessee, lost to number 7 Texas. As you pointed out, Robert, Alabama 3-1 against top 25 teams. Number 48 offense, number 17 defense, number 17 strength of schedule. The play of Milroe has been phenomenal, built on a defense that has been really consistent. I mean, I guess you could look at that Auburn game and kind of poke holes at it, but they are a 6-point underdog, or 6.5 against Georgia. I mean, I think the resume head-to-head, you do have Alabama. Any other kind of closing remarks before I move to the next call regarding the college football playoffs, or maybe that any other conference championship thoughts taking place between Friday and Saturday, Robert?
Yeah, the other thing is, I just hate that the previous caller mentioned that we all think that Alabama has to beat Georgia by 10 or whatever in order to punch our ticket. But Oregon, if they just squeak by Washington, they're supposed to be in automatically. That's just bugging me to the last degree.
That's
and like Stanky, like Nick Saban and they've said, you're gonna leave the SEC out. So I desperately want the committee to say they're going to leave the conference that has most championships with the two obviously best team in college football. You're going to leave them out if Alabama beats Georgia. I would like to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Robert. Man. Well, thanks very much for calling in. I appreciate it. I hope you have an enjoyable Friday night watching college football. If you can, root for the New Mexico State Aggies. Hopefully you don't have anything against the Aggies. And then we'll catch you on our next call-in show. I appreciate you, man. All right, Robert calling in from Mobile. We got a 631-256. I'm going to try to get to you guys all before I wrap it up here on Bama Football on YouTube. Here's a look at Georgia's resume. I had a fun time making these resumes. I like kind of the color schemes on them. 29-game winning streak for the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 6 total offense. Number 9 total defense. Beat number 11, Ole Miss. Number 21, Tennessee. Number 9, Missouri. Missouri's had an amazing season. 3-0 against top 25 teams. Number 58 strength of schedule. That front part of Georgia's schedule was laughable. They were playing like Ball State and somebody else. They were playing a couple teams that were like, what is going on with this schedule? Plus 210 to win the college football national title, and then they are a 6.5-point favorite to beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. With that said, we go back to the phone lines, and we got a 631. Let's do it. Hey, thanks very much for calling in. You're on line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Kyle, what's up? It's AJ, man.
What's up, AJ? I appreciate you calling, man. Dude, people want to hear from you, man, especially after that 4th and 31. So the backstory on AJ is AJ has called and has been hypercritical on Jalen Milroe. He's from New York. Let's hear what he has to say. AJ, I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you were able to watch the Iron Bowl in its entirety. But with that said, man, welcome to the show. What you got?
Oh, yeah, Kyle. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. I did all those things. I had my turkey, had my stuffing.
Yep.
I watched the underwhelming performance by our great quarterback. I don't know what to say that I haven't said before, Kyle. I appreciate your positivity. I appreciate all the Alabama fans that are delusional. I'm an Alabama fan, but I'm not delusional. That's the difference. I told you about this game, Kyle. I said he's going to put up, when we're talking about our great quarterback that everybody loves, he's going to put up these stupid little numbers against teams with no defense. He's going to do all this nonsensical stuff. But when it comes down to being a quarterback, he is not a quarterback. Now, I'm watching the Iron Bowl. This man scrambles to the sideline. I think it's third and whatever. He has about 25 yards ahead of him of grass to run. He stops, pump fake, look around, knows he can't read defenses, but he's trying to prove he can, and throws it incompletion. Nick Saban is like, run the damn ball. I saw it. I'm talking about 20 yards ahead of him. 20 yards of grass ahead of him. This man is a physical specimen. He would have got the first down, maybe a touchdown. He doesn't run because he has poor decision making, of course. And then the last play of the game, of course, which is the most lucky play ever. That had nothing to do with talent. He threw it to the corner. Yes, it was a nice, accurate pass, but the DB messed up. Receiver made a good play. You play that play 100 more times, 99 times is an incompletion. Everybody knows that. He is not a quarterback. Now to this game against Georgia. I've been waiting for this game. I'm gonna tell you the key to this game to win this game. It is not our amazing great quarterback that everybody loves. It's not him. The defense has to score and put us in great field position. So we need turnovers and we need defensive touchdowns or get the offense the ball somewhere in the red zone or close. That's how we're gonna squeak this game out. We are not a better team than Georgia. We are not a better team than Georgia. They are talent for talent, our equal, and they play better. Their quarterback's more consistent as far as being a quarterback. I know we have Superman, which everybody loves. I get it. Number 4. He's Superman until it's time to play quarterback. He's not. Milrose will not be able to complete consistent passes this game because he has to actually be a quarterback this game. He's going against NFL talent. He's going to be exposed. We need an offense to not turn the ball over, and we need a defense to make big plays. We can run the ball on them. We cannot pass on them. We cannot pass on. We're gonna hit a deep ball or two. That's what our great quarterback does. He throws the ball up. Yes, we're gonna hit a deep ball or two, but he's gonna go like 5 for 15 in the intermediate passing game. We know that. So this is what we need. We need defense to cause turnovers, get the ball to the offense with great field position consistently. We need a big interception, a big fumble, or a big score on defense, and the offense run the ball. It's going to be an ugly, physical game, not much passing from our side. We need to beat them up. I believe we can beat them up. But talent-wise, man for man, they are better than us. I am not stupid. I watch Georgia. They're not scared of us. They were able to beat us the last 5 years. If you watch every game, even our national championship 2020, we were down in halftime against Georgia. They're never scared of us. And our Tua national championship to Smith, let's be honest here. We were supposed to lose that game. Let's be honest. We were outplayed 95% of the game, and it took a Hail Mary, lucky play to Smith in the corner on the cover 2. I don't know why they were playing cover 2 and not cover 4, because on that play you got to play cover 4. But they were playing cover 2, and then, boom, touchdown. We win a national championship. We weren't supposed to win that game. Georgia had our number every single year, every single game. The only game I ever saw us really beat Georgia was the conference championship when we had that kid from Ohio State, the receiver from Ohio State, Williams. And he was the key, but he got, know how that goes. That's the only time I ever saw us line up and beat Georgia. Every other time, Georgia's had our number. I'm honest, man. I'm honest.
No,
so that's the key, man.
I think I want to make a deal with you if you make a deal with me, AJ. All right, listen. All right, so
I'm listening.
If Alabama, beats Georgia, right, and
Mm-hmm.
Miro balls out and he has a good game, I want you to call back and I want you to apologize to Miro.
What do you call balls out? Now we have to define balls out.
Okay,
right?
let's
it's
say
not throwing for 150.
okay, no. Let's put it at this. Let's say 220 passing yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 100 yards rushing.
No. That's more than balls out. That's an incredible game.
I 100%.
I know how bad he is.
No, I 100% think that those statistics are kind of the bar for Milroe in this SEC title game. I'm serious.
Okay.
220 passing, 100 yards.
220 passing.
Yes.
100 yards rushing.
Yes. And
2 touchdowns passing.
Yeah, so 3 total touchdowns. You got to take that deal, man.
You think Jalen can't play quarterback? Milrose is gonna throw for 220 on Georgia.
Yes.
Run for 150. Run for 100 on Georgia and
AJ,
get a rushing touchdown.
AJ,
also passing for 2.
AJ, dude, I'm telling you, AJ, you need to, I don't know what happened, bro, but you need to accept it, man. Milrose balling out.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
You see what's crazy
Dude,
is?
he is up
now I'm
for.
gonna vote.
He is
Here's
up
what's
for
crazy.
the.
Here's what's crazy,
He is
Kyle.
up for the Manning Passing Award. He is up for the
Kyle,
SEC
you put me in a weird
MVP.
position. Kyle, you put me in a weird
He's
position.
just not doing
Kyle,
this based off his
I'm
legs.
an Alabama fan.
The throw
Kyle,
on 4th and
Kyle.
31 was a throw for the ages.
The luckiest throw for the ages. But Kyle, you put me in an awkward position here. I want Alabama to win with all my heart. I'm glued. I'm gonna be glued to the TV for us to win. But I'm gonna be. I can't stand our quarterback. He's garbage, man.
No, he's not.
Why
AJ.
can't people see that? He's garbage. He's
He
the
is
worst
not.
quarterback we've
He's
had
not.
since
No.
that scrambling
He's not.
kid.
No.
Oh my!
AJ, no.
Jalen Milroe is horrible.
No,
he's
not.
horrible.
AJ, you're wrong, bro. I love you, bro, but you're wrong.
You know what? Tell me how to do a super chat. Also, I'll even super chat your chat. That's how confident I am that you're wrong. I don't know how to do super chat. You explain to me.
Hit the $sign in the chat box. So like
Okay,
when you're chatting inside the chat box, there's like a little dollar icon. But I got to run to my next caller because I'm trying to get one more in before I dip out. AJ, I got love for you, man.
Don't forget our bet, Kyle.
I won't, man.
Don't forget our bet, Kyle.
We got receipts,
Kyle.
man. We got receipts. I'll talk to you soon, AJ.
Jalen can't play quarterback Milrose. We'll see.
All right, man. See you, AJ. Like, all right. Okay. All right. I could take one more call before I bounce out. I appreciate you guys. AJ, man, he's not feeling it. Look, I appreciate all you guys' points of view. I think there is a small percentage still that doesn't believe in Milroe, right? That's why it's exciting for Alabama to have another opportunity to play at this magnitude of a game. Oh, I get it. People are going to be watching Oregon State. I'm going to tell you what's happening. You're going to be out for drinks tonight, having a nice dinner, and you're back. Oh, the Oregon Washington game's on, right? And you're going to be, oh, but the New Mexico State game's on too. So you're going to be switching back and forth, whatever. But on Saturday, all eyes, like the world is going to be watching Jalen Milroe, Alabama versus Georgia. That's the way that the world works, is the SEC runs everything. And I 100% have confidence in this Alabama team. I have confidence in the coach up top and Nick Saban. Go look at some of my past videos. This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't the first time that, that I've seen people doubt Alabama. I've seen them doubt the quarterback, that have seen them, think that they can't do this, that they can't play at this level, and they continue to do it. It's Nick Saban, man. And the thing is, the growth of this team has been extraordinary, right? I mean, that's a word that you can't really throw around a lot, but it really has. It's been amazing. I mean, the play of Jalen Milroe, I 100% believe in him. I'm on DraftKings today. Last week, completely cleaned up. And guess who my captain was? Jalen Milroe. Guess who my captain is going up against the Georgia Bulldogs? Jalen Milroe. Yo, DraftKings, if you want to sponsor your boy who's cleaning up, hit me up on Bama Football on YouTube. All right, this is my last call before I got to bounce. Hey, and I would take more calls, but I do have Tim Tebow, Roman Harper, Reese Davis, and Stanford Steve at 11 or a little after over here by the Mercedes Stadium. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys didn't get in today, hit the bell so you are notified when I come on again, and you guys could definitely join the call-in show. But I got love for all you guys. And check out my video I posted on Twitter. Went out for a workout with my group this morning, F3. And the cool thing about it was, check this out. So here in downtown Atlanta, you have a group of F3. So F3 is fitness, faith, and fellowship. So we worked out at a men's homeless shelter. And so you encourage guys from the homeless shelter who are going through stuff. Who hasn't gone through stuff? Everybody has, right? And we are able to, I was able to work out with some of those guys. And, it was pretty impressive to see. One dude ran in his jeans and some old Jordans, and we ran 3.5 miles this morning around Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He didn't complain one time. Love it. Love the grind. All right, last call of the day. We got a 256. Do it right now. Hey, good morning. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with, and where are you calling in from?
It's Daryl from Huntsville.
What's up, Daryl? I appreciate you calling in. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show, and take it away.
Yes, sir. I didn't know you were accepting calls from the lobotomy clinic because that guy you were talking to, somebody done operate on his brain. Dr. Frankenstein. What is he talking about? We were lucky to beat Georgia. Every time we beat them, is insanity in the air?
I know. You know.
I mean, it's called execution. It's called coaching. It's called belief.
Yeah, and I think with where I disagree most with AJ is he has refused to see any type of growth and transformation, right? And he's like still stuck in week 2 or something like that. So we're gonna get him there. And you know, most people, because I think there was a time where there was probably like a large percentage, it was like 50% that didn't believe in him. And then there were 40%, then we're 30%. And now it's kind of shrinking on down. So there's a small minority that still doesn't believe in Jalen Milroe. But look, you got to be able to open your eyes at some point and see what this young man is doing and his ability to take over games and ultimately lead Alabama to a title. It's coming. So, but I got love for all my callers, man. Anyways, Daryl, welcome to the show. What's on your mind, man? Take it away.
Yes, sir. This is the calm before the storm. You know, I know what we're facing. I understand who Georgia is. I understand their accolades. I understand all of that. But we're Alabama, and we don't take a second seat to anybody. And Georgia may well win the game, but it won't be without a fight. And so I'm looking for Alabama. Like I said the last time I talked to you, Alabama has not played their best game yet. And I believe they will play their best game Saturday. I think if they execute, which I believe they will, on both defense and offense. Again, I was kind of disappointed in the adjustments we didn't make. We let 2 plays almost beat us: the quarterback draw and the pull and pin sweep. And Georgia runs that also. So we just got to if you stay with the basics, if you stay with the fundamentals, read your keys, understand the down and distance, understand that what they're trying to do, figure out our coordinators, figure out how we can attack them and how we can neutralize them on offense, because on offense, Georgia's going to send pressure. Now, one thing the guy said before that I like what he said. Is right. Spies don't work. Yeah. And the reason spies don't work, no spies faster than Jalen Milroe out there. If he makes up his mind it's decisive, he's gonna get yardage every time. Because I've never seen a spy yet stop Michael Vick. I've never seen a spy stop Lamar Jackson. I have never seen that. And they spy him every game. But guess what? Every game, if he wants to, he'll have at 90 to 100 yards a game, because he's an athlete. He understands his abilities, and as an athlete, you always play to your strength. And what's one of Milroe's strengths? His legs.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I don't know. You know, again, I know he escaped from Dr. Frankenstein's clinic, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's an Alabama fan. He says he is, but you got to give credit where credit due, because I'm harsh on Milroe. I'm a harsh critic of Milroe myself. Yeah. But to say he hasn't improved, man, what are you seeing?
Yeah. All right, Daryl.
You got glaucoma.
Daryl, we gotta wrap it up, man. So give me your score prediction for
all
this
right,
game,
man. I appreciate
before I bounce out. Give me your score prediction.
My prediction, Alabama 20, Georgia 10.
20-10,
always my pleasure,
old school.
Kyle.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Daryl. Take it easy, man. All right, see ya. All right. If I didn't get to you guys today, look for me again. I might be on Saturday. I might be definitely Sunday, before the playoffs or whatever. So I appreciate you guys joining me. My name is Kyle Henderson. If you're new to the channel, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. I appreciate the super chats. I got to wrap it up as I got some media opportunities. Look for an interview with Tim Tebow, Roman Harper, Reese Davis to be uploaded right here to this YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys more than you know for being a subscriber, for supporting me. And thank you very much for the super chats today. Coming to you from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia, and the ATL. My name is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I will catch you guys next video, and thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and catch up with you guys soon.